What's good with you, everybody? It's your boy bringing that lightning, bringing that spark. Man, you already know who it is. It's Faiska. And I got my fellas with me as usual. I'm just screaming into y'all ears. Y'all like, damn, what's going on? But anyway, got my boy Ill Will in the building, Tyler's Wellness, and we are achieving greatness with a guest on the show. We got my cuz, M. Shafe, a.k.a. I call him M. Shaft, Marcus Shafer. And welcome to Fill Your Cup Podcast. What's up with y'all, fellas? How y'all doing today?
Man, we good, man. We good, man. We blessed as always, man. Came to fill our cups, man. Came to get this knowledge, man. Came to talk some shit. No.
And he said talk some shit. But no, let's go ahead and pour it up. Go ahead and get y'all cups ready. Listeners, go ahead and pour it up with something nice. None too drastic, but hey, I'm gonna go ahead and pour this cup up real quick. All right, go ahead, Will. Pour it up for us real quick. Go ahead and slide your cup over, Tyler. So, man, we got some special stuff today. Your boy went to the store finally, and I got some more tea. And I felt like a kid in the candy store. I had spent I thought I was gonna spend like $40-some in there on some tea, but I ended up spending like $28. I was like, yo, I was happy as hell. Just like, man, I finally got my shit. I've been saying for how long I'm gonna get some tea? It's been like at least like a 2 months or so, but guys,
like 8 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Let's go ahead and set the intention for the podcast today.
All right, guys. What are we setting today?
We are achieving greatness as usual.
Absolutely.
Almost burned my goddamn fingers.
It's quite hot.
Hey, I'm just like, who gonna say something like, man, I know this shit burning y'all because y'all ain't saying nothing. Like, come on now.
Do not spill this hot tea.
Do not spill it. So, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys the flavor. Actually, Tyler about to be brave and go ahead and take a sip. Hey, first off, let me say this real quick, fellas. Real quick. Listen up. So, look, I was reading about tea etiquette over the weekend, man, and I want to keep this as authentic as possible. And so, with that, no on your tea.
Oh, snap.
No sipping. You can't be sipping on your tea. I don't want to have that shit on my podcast. Also, I'm gonna be a little bougie how the way I hold my cup. So I was just reading some etiquette. I'm like, all right, bet. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all the flavor. So we got. Actually, Tyler, go ahead and be brave, bro.
I didn't grab this long enough to drink it.
All right, I'm gonna tell y'all the flavor, man. It's turmeric ginger with some black pepper as usual to help with the absorption with the turmeric, and then I got some Ceylon cinnamon, which is a better alternative of cinnamon versus the I forgot the other one. I think it's cassia cinnamon. It has some kind of like, I don't want to say chemical, but ingredient that's not the best in high concentration. And then I also have some sarsaparilla in there, and I don't know. I've been tuning into my YouTuber. What's her name? C Bud and Casey, and she's like, that's one of her herbal blends, sarsaparilla and other stuff. So let me get on the sarsaparilla kick some more. But anyways, fellas, I want to talk about today's podcast real quick, man. How y'all doing, real quick? Tell me how y'all doing. Go ahead and introduce yourselves a little bit more. Go ahead, especially you. Let's go, bro. Who we got on the show today?
What's going on? Marcus Shafer, M. Shafe, train the game on PlayStation. You know, if you look me up, I'm a huge gamer. But along with that, I'm all about success. Author, long lost brother to your host here, and next level mindset.
Yeah, no doubt. Me and my cousin, we grew up together, man, like brothers. No doubt about that, and it's crazy just the path we're both on. And it's almost like subconsciously it just came to us. It's like intrinsically in our DNA. It just, boom. And you guys know, whoever I have on the podcast, man, it's going to be like the usual people that we all think alike. We're all walking in greatness, achieving even more greatness, as I would say. And so we're going to give you guys a great podcast to listen to today. And hopefully fulfill you, give you guys some more fulfillment. There you go. There we go. And most importantly, fill your cups up. So you guys go ahead and tune in, kick back, and enjoy. So yeah, Mark, bro, you talked about, being brothers and growing up together. It's crazy, bro. What do you think, man, the transition from into your childhood to college years to who you are now, man? Like, I can say from experience, bro, and just from observation that, bro, you have changed in a dramatic and extraordinarily way. I just feel like it was already in you, bro. Go tell us about that transition, that whole transformation real quick.
So that's a good question, I guess, or a good statement. I think a lot of life tends to happen to people, and a lot of life happened to me over, my life. And through those experiences, it was certain moments in my life where I had to grow up. I can just remember, getting to college, finding the love of my life, and then all of a sudden having a daughter, and it was like, man, you can't chill out and just play video games all day anymore, or you can't just work out all day anymore. You got some responsibilities now. And I think that was the key moment that really helped me start to develop my mindset and got me serious about achieving greatness and achieving that next level, which I'm not on. I mean, the thing about the next level is always something that's moving. If you don't have a next level, then you're stagnant. You're standing still. So, I'm on the next level from the previous level, but yeah, we shooting for the next one. Like I was saying earlier, just published a book not too long ago. I got a big interview with Kate Delaney coming up tomorrow, actually, for that, and hopefully that stems into some more success, some more positive stuff. So.
Yeah, man, I want to actually talk about that a little bit, about the book. Shout out to my cousin for getting this book done. I know he had talked about this like several years ago, and he got it finally published. I want to say, earlier this year? Or was it late last year?
Late last year.
Yeah, late last year, and I'll provide the link to that in the description. But it's crazy just to see, like I said, man, to hear him talk about, okay, I'm going to write this book, to hear him do it. You mentioned an interview with who?
Kate Delaney.
Kate Delaney, man. Like, explain how, like, I don't even know who that is.
She sounds important.
She sounds important. It sounds like somebody from, like, some kind of network that I'm like, oh, okay. So go ahead and, talk a little bit about that, man. How that came to be.
Well, it's really just a kind of a marketing opportunity for the book, right? So she's a Grammy-nominated radio host. Her radio station has broadcast over 256 stations, reaching millions and millions of listeners. So I guess my book was selected by their marketing company to kind of pursue because she's a business specialist at the same time. So the things that I mentioned in my book is about not just business, it's more about mindset to achieve what you want to achieve. A lot of it does relate to business because I have sort of more of a business background. But because of that, she just kind of resonated with the book a little bit. So, but at the end of the day, it's a nice opportunity to get my book out there, get my name out there. And like I said, go to that next level. So.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, getting to that next level. As you guys already know and listen to, with me, Tyler, and Will, we always talking about taking that next step to the next level. And we have a lot to not only offer to you guys, but we have a lot to learn ourselves. Oh, yeah, man, that tea is high. As you can see, I was trying to sip on it a little bit earlier. I'm like, ooh, nah, I'm straight. But look, guys, we talked about these subjects in the past, you and, you as well. We talked about this, but I want to really get a different perspective, and I want to talk a little bit more about accomplishing your goals, staying determined. As my cousin just mentioned, dude, he couldn't do the same things he did before, working out all day, just doing the leisure things that he enjoys. Even with me, man, I have a kid on the way now, so it's just like I'm trying to prepare for this, and I'm like, I ain't gonna be able to do this shit no more. Like, it's about to change. I'm trying to get my kid to do capoeira too, but we're gonna see how that happens, man. But other than that, man, bro, talk to us about, and I want all of us to put in our sense with this. How do you achieve greatness when you have so many things just coming at you, man? And we talked about this a couple of days ago. Mm-hmm. Just having distractions. How do you remain steadfast and focused on your goals? What motivates you? How do you stay driven with that? Break it down.
All right. For me personally, I think you gotta have the vision. First and foremost, you have to know what you want. If you don't know what you want, you don't know what you're striving for, and it's easy to get distracted. Now, you have to kind of have the mental understanding that life is going to distract you regardless. Like, life is going to throw things at you that you're not prepared for, and you got to kind of work around or work with those moments. But I think for me, it was just keeping that vision of what my future life looks like and the things that I'm extremely excited to achieve, the things I'm extremely excited to provide for my family and my friends and the people that know me. Just the purpose I have to impact the world keeps me focused on my end goal, my vision, everything I want to achieve.
Right.
But every day I take the time to visualize my life after my success. So every day I look at where my life is going to be. I define what my future will be, and that excitement, that energy is then carried over to whatever work needs to be applied for that day, you know? So and that makes it easy for me just to envision what you need.
Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, that is huge, my man. What you were saying there, like I had said before, I think I was gonna say it as a different title for maybe another podcast. Was like, the man with no vision shall perish. You know, so if you don't have a vision for yourself of what you want your future life to look like, it's really hard to create that, you know, because there are a lot of distractions. You know, there's a lot of other things that you can do. You know, you can party, you can Netflix, you can just chill or work out or, you know, whatever these things that you can do. But it's a lot of distractions, you know. Everything that you say yes to, that also means that you're saying no to something else. So, yeah, I think that's really huge, man. Tell me a little bit more about your book, man. We got an author on the show.
I know, right?
I know my guy Mike Goodry is the author. He's got a book, but yeah, tell us about your book a little bit more, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So the book is titled Freedom. It's really a focus for family, time, money, and success. So once I really looked at the book and looked at the final product, it really is a good starting guide to start to develop the mentality it takes to be successful. And mind you, it's no proven or dug out path of how you can be successful in anything in any way. This is just the mindset that I've developed through leaders that I've interacted with, people who make hundreds to $200,000 to $300,000 a month. They've impacted me. They've had the life that I want. So luckily I've got that experience to be in a business group called URA. And when I was in that business group, I got mentored by a ton of wealthy, but also positive and impactful people. But yeah, so the book is really about shaping that mindset, getting rid of distractions. It's about the changes that I feel you need to make in order to be successful. I think it's a really good, it's good for everybody to read, but if you're in college, like I was in college and I didn't know what I wanted to do when I wanted to leave. I was a senior and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm studying sports management because I like sports, but I really don't know what I want to do. And once I got in that business group, it really shaped the reality of I don't want to have a job. So unfortunately, college was one of the largest wastes of money. But hey, the thousands of dollars I spent in college, the connections were completely worth it. The education, not so much. But it's those connections that led to my career today. It's those connections that led to every single job I've ever had has always been a connection I've made in college, which is crazy. But I guess I'm running on to answer your question. Yeah, the book is really just about achieving freedom. To get you to stop trading your time for dollars. You know, if you can secure the financial part on the back end to where you have passive income, then you can use your time to enjoy life. So they say money doesn't buy happiness, but money does buy time. Time, what you do with your time, provides happiness. So essentially, money kind of buys happiness, if you look at it that way. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's really huge, man. You got to surround yourself with those same inspired individuals, same people living the life that you want to live. Get in that circle, you know, and network with them and see how they're doing and copy their habits, you know. Which one of your friends is a networking guy, you know, which one of your friends has a great finances. He's in his budget and whatnot. You know, which one is a great business owner. So just surrounding yourself with people like that is going to be really awesome.
Yeah, and that equation, I love that equation because ultimately that is the path we all seek, man. Like you need money. Unfortunately, in a paradigm we live in, you need it to survive, man. And certainly, I learned that the hard way as I got into my later 20s. But now I'm on the secure in the bag, as people always say. So I'm working on that as well. I'm trying to build a foundation, man, for my family. My little one that's on his way, and I always go back to that movie Parasite. Seeing how they lived in that house, I was like, damn. Me and my girl, my baby, just living in the house like that, and I'm just making money passively through the different avenues that I explore. But you already know we got a guy on the podcast that's excellent with this stuff, man. Tyler, I want to hear what you got to say, bro, because you already know this is what you do, bro. So I want you to give not only your take on like focus on success with all the distractions coming at you, but like you're big into turning people talent into income because you're all about making money passively, man. So tell them about that.
Yeah. So one thing is we had mentioned earlier here that one thing you got to do is kind of escape that 9 to 5 being your only source of income. Once you do that, essentially you can create as many sources as you want based off of the things that you're willing to provide the world. If you're willing to add value to the world in some aspect, that's how you can create income streams for yourself, right? So we wrote a book here. The book can help people. People will get value from that book. They're going to learn lessons from your life experiences, because your life is valuable. And then from that, they're going to learn how they can kind of navigate their life differently. In that aspect, that book may be, $20. You might have 10,000 people that buy that $20 book from you. You've created that much income for yourself in just creating a book, writing your story. And that is literally the power that you have, every single listener to this podcast. And that really is how you can turn your talents to income.
And the most important thing too, with that equation that Tyler threw, with 10,000 people buy his book for $20, he established income, but most importantly, he added value to someone's life, which then it's gonna create like this snowball effect where other people are gonna be like, man, you know about Marcus Shafer? He wrote this, that, and the other. Next thing you know, he's making connections, and it's just like boom. He might end up on Oprah's show. Oprah's like, yo, how did this all start? Talking about freedom, and it's just like boom. It's just crazy, and I gave y'all boom. I want y'all to listen to that, man, because you have value. The moment you arrived on this planet, we're all unique individuals. I think Kid Cudi said in a TED Talk before, we all have that DNA we possess greatness already, but we're just stifled, by the bullshit. You guys already know, in distractions. But yeah, Mark, I want you to talk to like the whole college thing. Tyler, did you go?
I want to add one thing in there too, real quick.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Do your thing, man. Do your thing.
Quick. So also, as you're saying, like, making your story add value to other people's lives, right? We all have a story that we're telling ourselves every single day. And this goes into the mindset, right? How is your narrative? Are you narrating your life in a positive sense? Are you seeing the lessons that you're learning as you're going through your life? Are you using these lessons to navigate yourself and elevate yourself higher? And as you're doing this, you can start to journal your little thoughts and everything that you kind of go through, like, oh, maybe I can, do this little project because that'll help these people, obtain this thing. Or, I heard about this problem over in this area. Maybe I can do something about that. Just write down little things. And as you write these things down, what's going to happen is your mind is going to start to recognize possible solutions as you're just navigating your life. And these are just regular ways that any individual can just start to add value to people's lives. You don't have to be anyone super crazy up there, with a name for themselves. You start writing your name for yourself by telling yourself that you have the ability to do this.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. That's substance for you guys. And like I was getting at too, man, which that was really good, bro, because I think that deserves a certain topic on its own, adding value. I mean, I remember I first came across that statement from Lupe Fiasco, and I was like, damn, I like that. Adding value. But yeah, man. So I was asking a question. Did you go to college?
Yeah, I did.
Tyler, Will?
A little bit.
Okay. Mark.
College dropout.
All right. So who's the only person with the bachelor's right now? Smart. Okay. You have associates? So I guess I have an associates, and but I'm saying that to say this, guys. Mark made a statement about college and how he learned, but in the success he's achieved today is through his networking, and by any means, you can still get your education, whatever, blah blah blah. But the most important thing is your networking, and you're not just there being a bot. Don't be a bot. Just go to school, learn the education, and then boom, you botting. No, network with people. so don't be a bot. You know what I mean? Because ultimately, you have to make yourself different because we're all intrinsically different. But dude, how did that? When did you feel like you was like, damn? You look back on your life, and I know you don't regret like going to school because it created the success that you have now. But talk to me about like that moment you was like, bro, like these connections is connected to this person in school, and now I have this. Like, talk to us about that networking aspect. I feel like needs to be talked about more because a lot of time it boils down to who do you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first time I really noticed the importance of networking, so I was in a business fraternity called Alpha Kappa Psi, one of the first largest professional business fraternities out there. It's actually co-ed, really unique opportunity. And that's what was one of the most valuable things I had in college. But like my first major role, I was a sales specialist for Samsung, in which one of my I'm gonna say big sister for those who don't really understand the fraternal, but she's my big. She was a regional manager for Samsung, so it was simply her reaching out to the market manager of the area I'm in. I threw my resume at him, and he was like, I'm gonna bring you on as much as we can pay you. Like, it wasn't no like, usually it's a negotiation of how much you get. It was like, no, this is the max we can offer anybody, and if you want it, it's yours type deal. I surpassed people with a ton of sales experience. I had a guy, I almost felt bad, Hari. I felt bad for getting the lead position because this guy worked at Radio Shack for a number of years. Dude is a phenomenal person. Dude is a phenomenal salesperson. And I honestly have never learned so much about sales outside of what I've picked up just managing hard, So it was almost like I was the manager, but you leading this thing because you're the expert. But it's crazy because my network did that for me. So then I got offered a B2B position with Verizon. I basically reached out to one of my friends that worked at Verizon, was looking for something new. I feel like I reached the ceiling at Samsung. Lo and behold, it wasn't really a hard interview. The funny thing is, so the guy who interviewed me for the B2B position came into the interview knowing he wasn't going to hire me. Like, he came to the interview, and then based on what I did in AK side, all the professional training, all of the interviews that we simulated, all of the professionalism of that group that it taught me, he was like, man, I have to hire you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was like, honestly, I didn't want to I was the first one in the country hired for the SMB B2B position out that didn't work for Verizon already. That didn't go up internally. You know what I'm saying? So, and that still falls back to me joining an organization and knowing people. And then it started to click for me like, man, it was simple. It was like, I didn't use anything I learned in class. It was like, bro, all right, so I'm making, let's say I was making 80 grand as a 22-year-old. And I'm like, I'm not using anything from school. It's literally, I'm using my sales experience. I'm using everything I've learned on my job, kinda, but it was all just, man, what did I pay? Whatever I paid. What did I pay to? I don't even know. I know I'm in debt, about 60 grand, but what did I pay for? And then I just got the realization like, okay, maybe this isn't the way. You know what I'm saying? Because let's look at it this way. So how many people do you know actually go to school and come out making more than $150,000 a year? It's like, like everybody is going down path A, but not getting to path S, which is success. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, so why should I go down path A? If I see everybody going down path A and not making it, why not see what path B and C is talking about? Right. You know what I'm saying? That's when I started to really think for myself. I started to put together different ideas. I started to try to generate 6 to 7 different incomes. The book being, one of those ideas, real estate being the next thing I'm really venturing out into, and we're going to build up from there. But streaming, video game, like it's a lot of things that I'm looking to dive into in the next couple of years. But I just haven't seen anybody that can buy a plane ticket today to Paris, not buy a returning flight, and just stay in Paris and be like, 2 months later, I want to come back.
Real bougie, like.
Real like, I haven't met anybody like that.
Like, that's
but
a
it's
vacation,
people,
right.
It's people doing that.
That's
and
a
like,
vacation.
It's almost disrespectful. Like, Drake was my example a long time ago. It was like, okay, Drake is a good singer. He's a good entertainer. He's a good, public figure.
Right.
But Drake is not a better human being than me.
Right.
So why does Drake have way more than I have?
Exactly.
And I took that to heart, and I swear that it was a super simple, example, but that drove me so well when I was like a couple years, about 5-6 years ago, to really just start putting stuff together. It's just like, these people aren't necessarily great people. You know what I'm saying? But like I don't think Drake's dream was people are gonna listen to my music and they're gonna go be the best versions of themselves.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Drake was like, I'm gonna be one of the best artists.
Yeah, exactly.
And he took that. But my vision is like, what I do in this world, people will be phenomenally blessed for knowing me, interacting with me, listening to my work, and using my work. Like, I'm trying to push people to be the best version of themselves. And you look at how society values that, and it's like, we more value the guy who can sing and entertain. But, it's just, I just feel like I feel a passion to change that narrative. So, yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, Drake, he's up there, man. He's doing his thing. I definitely look to the stars too. You got Drake and all these famous people, and they're doing things. Sometimes it doesn't even look like they're working that hard,
right.
But they still have, but they are. They're doing more of a intuitive and a capturing of art, and putting it on a sound and working however it is. Maybe you're acting or doing commercials, whatever it is. You definitely have to be skilled about it. But they make it look easy, And yeah, I just kind of feel like, like we're all Drake, man. We all have the power to use what the artist is making, or this guy, or whoever it is, you're that same human being, to create like success. Might be in a different way. But yeah, I think that's really huge, man. Just understanding that we all have that same power.
I want to say one other quick thing.
Okay, go for it.
So no disrespect to Drake if you ever listen to this podcast. I'm not dissing you. I'm actually a huge fan.
Drake,
I'm just saying that
right.
I had to use that as motivation because it's something that I'm passionate about. I'm really passionate about, like I said, helping people achieve whatever you want to achieve, bro. If you want to be a phenomenal school teacher, if that is your goal, I don't have a right to tell you that's a good or bad or that's you should aim higher. That's not my job. My job is to say you can have whatever you want, choose it, and let me help you. Let me help push you to it. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And like we were saying earlier too, and you got Mark too about these artists. They do be working. I listen to Absol. And I remember one song, he was like 6:19 in the morning, nigga. And he said it just like that. And I'm just thinking like, they up making music. Right. It's just like, dude, and it's just, when you hone in on a skill and you're so passionate about making this just your success, it's going to happen. I can't stress it enough. It's the law of the universe. I keep fucking telling y'all, it is the law. Whatever you think with your thoughts, so shall be. So if you want to be the best damn flipping burgers guy at Wendy's, then be the best. But it's going to pay off because ultimately you're going to realize that hard work, like, it got me there. Imagine if I put hard work elsewhere. Imagine if I use, like what Tyler always said, use this talent that I have, I could turn into income. I learned that statement from B.O.B. He always said, if you're good at something, make them pay you for it. Like, I kid you not. And then the whole thing about Marcus saying, when you look at these guys and you're like, you're not better than me. You literally are not better than me. You might have had a better environment or a better opportunity, but I'm on my God potential. I create opportunities for myself. So it's just like once you realize nobody is, they not fucking with you, man. That's how I feel. Nobody's fucking with me. And it's just like I use that to be like, keep going, Spence. Keep driving. Keep being the best that you can. When I go to YouTube, I'm just like, man, I'm gonna be there someday. Cause I just keep looking like, oh man, look at somebody. Thing it was estimated $64,000 a month on Social Blade a month. You know how much I was making? My estimation, $28 a month.
Social Blade, what is that?
And Social Blade is a thing where you can see YouTubers how much they're making and whatnot.
Monetize.
Yeah. But I didn't get discouraged. I was like, oh, I just looked at, damn, someday I'm gonna make that just off of YouTube. So it's just like
hold that vision for yourself.
You gotta hold that vision, you know what I mean? And then you just gotta find ways to motivate yourself, man. But I know I want to pass this off to Tyler again because, like I said, this is really up his alley. And like, how do you start, bro, turning your talents in? How do you discover that? Because I know we talked about that in the podcast before. Because I want to really go off of this. How do you turn your talent into income? How does that happen?
Man, honestly, it's going to be a process for everybody. Because first you have to discover exactly what it is again that you want, and as Marcus mentioned earlier, you have to decide, right? I always say my 4-step plan to success is first to decide, and it's either you decide that you're going to add value in a certain aspect, you're going to like help people do a certain thing, or you're going to do a certain action, like you're providing a certain service or a product to the market or something like that, right? You're either going to do a service, a product, or have other people selling their products or services, right? Affiliate marketing and stuff like that. But essentially what it is you have gifts and things that you enjoy doing. Like if you don't like your current job, why would you make a job for yourself that you don't like doing? So figure out the things that you actually enjoy doing in your life every day and figure out like how can you find people that would be willing to pay you for that thing. Maybe it's even, house cleaning. People are willing to pay you for cleaning their house, right? There's random stuff like that. You can listen to your music and just go clean. That's really it. Even us, we've trained people. We train people. We love to work out and we get paid to train people. Work out. like literally there's that. There are people that get paid. There was a guy who I had saw. He made like $2,000 a month selling courses teaching people how to make potato guns. Yeah. Potato guns. Yeah. And not even to mention like all these other guys, like a guy teaching people how to jump higher. And just
man, you see those, man.
like so many skills. We're like just you have to offer it and find people that are just willing to one, like you as a person, and pay you for doing that thing. And that's really how you start. Find what it is that you want to bring and then start bringing it 100%.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing is discovering what's going to be, how you're going to circumvent that into the avenue to create those opportunities for you, man. Like, I think Tyler started off as trainer. Will, you still training?
I'm still training.
I'm gonna venture off into
Nutrition
training.
now.
Yeah, nutrition is where it's at. Yeah, I definitely would say nutrition is where it's at. I know eventually in a couple of years I'm gonna deviate from training, start getting to more of the teaching aspect of things because that's what I really love to do. But I hate asking this question, man. I really do. But where do you guys see? Because we're gonna cap out with this. We're gonna go ahead and close out with this. Where do you guys see yourself? And you don't have to answer directly because I hate it. 3 to 5 years from now, even 10. What's your lifetime goal? Cause I'm gonna start off with you, man. Actually,
I was gonna say lifetime ain't 3 to 5 years.
no, I was gonna say yeah. Not when I mean switch that 3 to 5, or you can make it your lifetime. You know what I mean? So it's whatever you want to do. 3 to 5, 10, 20. I'm probably more likely gonna choose like a 3-year goal, not my lifetime right now. Even though I have the scope for it, but I don't want to get into that too much. But I actually want to forward that question to you now. I was thinking about like, dang, should I forward to him like I want to close out? But no, we're going to forward it to you now. We're just going to go ahead and reflect on that a little bit.
Absolutely. So, see, I'm kind of backwards from you. So I have a very defined vision of what my complete life looked like. I don't have a defined what 3 to 5 looks like. And it's simply like when I think about my life at the point of which I am deemed quote unquote successful. The reason I put quote unquote is because success is always something that's moving too. You're never successful because success because it's just always other things to achieve. Like the second you stand still, you fall off. You may not know it. It may not impact you like you would think it will. But say you have, you've worked your way up to $2 million. You're like, all right, I'm good. So if you're not still producing basically what I'm trying to say is nothing in life is stagnant. Like if you look at nature, nothing is stagnant. You're either living or you're dying, So keep living. But when I look at my life, I started first envisioning where, right? So Dallas, Texas. Lo and behold, I moved to Dallas, Texas 6 months ago. But I envisioned this big house. I always see myself opening this golden knob for my door, like a golden handle almost. And I walk into this marble floor, big chandelier and twin stairs coming down every time. And I walk through, I go through the whole house. I go into my gaming room. I go into my gym. I go into my weight room. I go into the football field. I go into the outdoor pool. Pretty sweet concept. It's like a pool that's inside, but you swim under and you can go outside. Or it's like almost have like a garage door in the middle. So it's like if it's hot, you can just lift it up and it's like outdoor and indoor. Anyway, but I go through this house and I feel the house. I don't just look at it. Like I feel like this is I'm thankful and I'm like just in the moment, right? And one of my greatest visions is I imagine me and my wife waking up and then she rolls up and she's like, "What do you want to do today?" I'm like, "What do you want to do today?" And she was like, "I don't know." I was like, "I don't know either." And it's like, the reason is we don't have a job. We don't have we don't have anything we have to do. So it's all about what do you want to do. And so when I imagine my kids happy running in and out, I imagine, I see when I leave my house, first of all, I see my underground garage. I always envision having a Viper. I always envision having a Corvette. And a Range Rover. And when I leave my house and I'm driving around the city, I see billboards. I see freedom going. I look at my phone. I see people talking about my book. I see income. I envision opening my apps. I actually walk through in my mind. I walk through putting my username, my password into my phone, and I open my account, and it's like $250,000 in one account. Wells Fargo is $300,000 in this account. You know what I'm saying? Like I literally take the time to walk through all these things, and then I wrap all that vision, all that. And this is like a 5-minute process. It's not super long, but I wrap all that up with like a feeling of just gratitude. But when you do that every day, it goes from this is what I think my life is gonna look like to I know what my life will look like. And once you go to I know, your brain goes to this is how.
Certainty.
This is how. This is another way how. This is another opportunity how. It's just a matter of you taking advantage of those opportunities. So, yeah.
Yeah, 100, man. But the thing is, you got to be tuned into that frequency. You got to have your mind on that. If you're on, YouTube watching the rappers and they're smoking and drinking and now you want to go do that, now you're getting other stuff in there that could just be, what does my life not look like? What is not Lil Pump, but my life? What do I want for myself? You might be able to do whatever it is that you want to do, and I think, he is kind of, they're all trash, mumble rappers, and it looks good, and they're just famous and all this type of stuff, right, but just a distraction, man. It's just another distraction. Like, if you look at it like, you know what, I could be living that life or doing better than him even, and just use it as inspiration, and something to hold on to, just like my man was saying here, having that vision for yourself is huge, man. You made me want to do some visualization work. I normally do it, but yeah, you're right. Get into the habit of it, meditating, and then meditation with like a little visualization just to hold on to it, because it does give you that energy. Gives you that motivation to go after it, and you'll be seeking those opportunities because that's what you're aligned with and that's what you're looking for. So everything that you do is looking to bring out that opportunity, or here's a podcast, or here's an opportunity to do, or whatever, for whatever it is that your goal is, I think that's just staying tuned in, staying dialed in, going into yourself and really figuring out what I'm good at, what do I enjoy, read my man's book here, and practice those habits, the habits that is going to take you to get there.
All right, I'm going to give you guys a quick little 3-year scope of mine. And the reason why I chose 3 years is because one of my big goals is to become able to teach capoeira. And that is my my main squeeze. And I'm going to say this. Everything, what they say, everything that I touch turns to gold. Mm-hmm. Everything that I touched, I could turn into money. So with me being an instructor, I know everything I do, I can create money. It's easy for me. I'm like Marcus. I went to school, some college, and then boom, everything that I've gotten has been through networking and because of my personality. So it's going to pay dividends if you not only have connections, but you can be charismatic. You have a personality. It's going to show like, man, I really want this guy on my team. And so like once these 3 years pass, I'm going to be teaching what I love to do. And then I'm going to venture off into my other business ventures that I have, which we'll talk about in future podcasts. But certainly a successful YouTube channel is number one on that paper as well, in which I'm working my ass off for that and other things as well. So, Tyler, go ahead and tell us about it. Maybe we'll close out shortly after that.
All right. Well, for a short-term goal, I'd say, 3 to 5. But what's crazy is like, especially like looking at the last 2 years and how fast things have went with those, it's kind of hard to say, what in the next 2 or 3 years would be, what it'll look like. But, if I had to say, I definitely would already have one gift I want to give is paying my parents' house off. So I would have already done that by that point in the next, 2 to 3 years. At that point, I would be at a point, if I can pay their house off, then I would already have probably owned my own house. Maybe if that's the case, then my reoccurring income from the business would mean I'd have quite a few clients that I'm able to help out, which means that each business that I'm helping out is creating enough income to sustain their business, which means their employees are thriving and everything. So that means I'm affecting many lives, like as a byproduct of the work that I'm doing. So it's just crazy to just think like how many people would have been affected by the work that I would have done by that point. So just trying to think like a massive scale, I know I would have helped a lot of people. That's all.
Yeah, no doubt. And we could get into like dream realization and visualization in a separate podcast because I'm on that same tip too. Yeah, because you got to have those vivid visions. You have to create those visions and stay true to them. Like I tell my brother, you want to become a world champion? Do you see yourself? And he said, yeah. And he tells me, I give him these questions, and he sees it, and he smells it, and he shits it, and that's when it's gonna manifest. I promise you, we are in the manifestational stages right now on this planet. Everything you can create anything. But with that, guys, we're gonna go ahead and close out, and I hope you guys enjoyed that podcast. And until then, definitely want to have you on the show again, cuz you guys know the usual. We always dropping jewels and stuff. But look, I'm going to go ahead and close out. It's your boy, Faiska. Have my two fellas with me. Ill Will, a.k.a. Will. That's what I call him. But check him out at
New Wave Coaching.
New Wave Coaching. All right? And you got my boy, Tyler. Tyler's Wellness, Talented Academy. I got to say it because I like it. Turning people's talent into income. And then my cuz, a.k.a. Marcus Shafer, M. Shafe, and I also call him M. Shaft, as usual. We're going to have a separate podcast for us, too, as well. So you guys, we're going to go ahead and provide that description. I would love to have you guys on the show with me and my cousin as well. So, yeah, with that, I'm out. It's your boy, Faiska. We don't say peace. We say ashe.
You want to tell them what ashe means, man?
Oh, yeah, real quick. Ashe means like a form of peace in Brazilian Portuguese. It's used in capoeira. And so, you have people like ashe. Or we'll be like salve, which is like, be safe or whatnot. But I always say ashe because it just sounds like smoother and cooler, I guess. So, ashe, guys. Until then.
Peace. Ashe.
Peace. Ashe.